Hello and welcome to the second part of today's Super Sunday election coverage. We're going to move on to the second election, which is the Vorarlberg, that's how you pronounce it, local elections, the state elections. Just 2 months after the national elections here in Austria, the state is going to vote again, which actually led to a funny kind of decrease in voter participation in the national election, where we saw that some people said, "Well, I'm not going to vote. We're going to go vote today. We're going to vote in 2 weeks anyways." So that's very interesting. Let's look at right now how the last election in this state was. Like, the last election saw the People's Party lose a lot. That was still during the times before Kurz, where the People's Party was just constantly losing, down to 41% back then. The Freedom Party was also slightly losing because of the Vorarlbergian faction being pretty old and not that great anymore. And back then, that was just before the migrant crisis, so people weren't that invested in voting for them. The Greens had a big success back then, as they did during that time in 2014 and 2013-15. In all the western states, the Greens became a strong power. Social Democrats losing out, and the NEOS, back then a new party, being extremely successful here in Vorarlberg because their leader was from Vorarlberg. They were founded here. This led to the first, no, well, not the first ever, but I think a premiere for Vorarlberg. The People's Party lost their absolute majority. They used to govern together with the Freedom Party for, I think, over 10-12 years. They governed with the Freedom Party in the 80s and 90s. Then they had an absolute majority. And now they had to govern with another party again, and they chose the Greens. They made a black-green coalition, is how we call it, under Markus Wallner, the Landeshauptmann, the governor, the guy you can see down on the right there. The parties standing this time are the main five parties here. All others have no chance of getting in, really. For the People's Party, Markus Wallner, the current incumbent governor of the state. Then for the Freedom Party, Christoph Bitschi, who has a very funny name, but also is a kind of a representative of a new wing inside the Freedom Party, which wants to take the party more to the center and move it strongly away from more strongly right-wing factions like the Identitarians. Um, Very interesting. He's part of a new axis that has developed in the party after the national election, the Heimbuchner axis, who want to take the party on this route. And it's going to be very interesting to see if he will be able to perform better than the National Party did in Vorarlberg, which will show if the people actually like this path more. Then we have Johannes Rauch for the Greens, Martin Staudinger for the Social Democrats, and Sabine Schäfknecht for the NEOS, the Liberal Party. Very interesting. Fun. I just like how the main three candidates look very just Johannes Rauch. What even is that? That guy looks like a fucking cartoon character. Anyways, let's look at the polls to really put into perspective what this is probably gonna be looking like. We can see over the times there have only been 6 polls in the last 2 years made about these elections, but you can see the People's Party gaining strongly, and in the most recent poll, not really gaining strongly. The Freedom Party dropping off over time. They started off being a bit stronger in 2018, and then just went down. They just went down. From there, the Greens slowly, they are at a drop, but slowly recovering back up, and the Social Democrats coming up back from their 8% destruction last time around, and the NEOS performing pretty well. My personal prediction for this election would look like this. The People's Party will win 47%, possibly even an absolute majority. The Freedom Party will drop off massively again, down to 15%, which would be slightly better than the national election results. The Greens will only drop slightly, going only down to 16% by 1%. The Social Democrats will go up to 12%, around that, and the NEOS will go up to 10%. This would be an interesting result. It would show maybe a new path. This would lead to either the People's Party being able to govern alone, or them probably going to govern with the NEOS. Because if they can choose between Greens and NEOS, they will always choose NEOS. Because the NEOS are basically just a neoconservative party, neoconservative, neoliberal party, basically just like a wing of the People's Party itself. So that's going to be the government there, and it's going to be possibly the first defeat for the new Heimbuchner axis. And if the Freedom Party performs even worse, then this will be the end for one of its main members, Christoph Bitschy. Which will be sad, considering I love his name, but hey. Good for the party, because I don't think it's the right path, personally. Anyways, I hope you are informed, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you will like and subscribe, and I hope you will share. And we will see each other within a few hours at the Poland election, the big one today, the really, really big one. And with that, I say goodbye. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.